What's up, finance virtuosos? Today we're going to be talking about something that you, just like a lot of people, struggle with: finding a career that is truly fulfilling and tailored to who you are as an individual. It's such a common source of stress and anxiety, as we all want that sense of certainty about our path in life. But the reality is, there's no guarantee that even if you know what type of work you enjoy, you'll be able to turn it into a successful, well-paying career. That's why I'm excited to share some evidence-based techniques from a book by Professor Grace Lordan that can help guide you towards crafting a bespoke career for yourself. One that fits you like a glove rather than trying to squeeze into someone else's mold. This is the Finance Virtuoso channel, where we talk about all things finance. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future money tips and tricks. The first tip is to focus on the actual tasks and day-to-day activities over just the job title or broad label. It's easy to get attached to sounding impressive titles like neurosurgeon or investment banker. But have you really dug into what the nitty-gritty work would involve? The long hours, the stress, the monotonous tasks. A lot of careers look way more glamorous from the outside than they actually are up close. We tend to think about life in these broad brushstrokes, the big picture of our identity and status. But the truth is, our happiness comes much more from the individual pixels that make up each day. So instead of fixating on titles, visualize what you'd actually be doing hour by hour if you had a certain career. If those daily tasks don't excite you, it may not be the right fit no matter how prestigious it sounds. Speaking of visualizing, the second great tip is to create a vision of your me plus, the idealized version of yourself that you aspire to become. What industry would me plus work in? What company? What responsibilities would me plus have? Get really specific in imagining the day-to-day. That provides a clear target to aim towards with your career development. For me, some of the things I envisioned for my me plus were demystifying personal finance concepts, empowering people to take control of their money, continuously expanding my financial knowledge, and creatively breaking down complex topics. That vision has helped guide me towards a career in finance YouTubing that allows me to live out those aspirations. The third tip is to audit how you currently spend your time. Take a hard look at your weekly calendar and identify which activities are genuinely fulfilling, which are purposeless time sinks, and which are actively draining you and taking you further away from your me plus vision. The goal is to start weeding out those negative activities and replacing them with more positive ones that provide meaning and progress. Which brings us to tip 4, investing just 13 minutes per day into activities that build towards your ideal career. That's all it takes according to the authors. Just a small, consistent daily effort compounded over time can develop remarkable skills and move you in the right direction. Whether that's coding, writing, networking, or whatever will serve your me plus career path, those tiny daily investments can pay huge dividends in the long run. Now tip 5 is a bit counterintuitive, but I found it quite insightful. The book actually warns against immediately going back to university or paying for an expensive master's program if you're feeling uncertain about your career direction. In our modern age of free online learning and skills development, traditional formal education is often not necessary and can even be a misguided path. Instead, it is recommended to use all the inexpensive or free resources available to explore potential career paths and start building relevant skills and experience. Only once you've discovered a clear direction should you consider more significant educational investments. The key is to avoid locking yourself into an arbitrary path just because you feel pressure to have your life figured out entirely. That ties into the 6th tip, which is to embrace career U-turns, if needed. We're notoriously poor at predicting how our values and interests may change over time. So don't be afraid to deviate from your initial plan if you discover it's no longer feeling fulfilling. Changing directions, even multiple times, is totally okay and often necessary on the journey towards your bespoke career. Consistency can paradoxically become a trap if we refuse to ever reevaluate our paths as we evolve as people. Finally, the seventh tip offers a helpful mindset for those who may not have complete clarity yet on their dream career. Think of it as a grid search process. Make a list of the types of activities, subjects, and working styles that currently energize you. Then try taking small steps to explore career paths that seem to align with those interests, gathering more data through personal experience about what truly resonates. If something doesn't feel right, make a U-turn and try a new direction without judging yourself. You're not flailing aimlessly, but systematically checking different potential paths off the grid until you find the one that fits best. It's okay if the connecting threads between your experiences aren't obvious at first. As Steve Jobs said, you can only connect the dots looking backwards, not forwards. The key is maintaining that spirit of open curiosity and experimentation as you grid search. Don't get disheartened if your first few attempts don't quite hit the bullseye. That's all part of the process of crafting your utterly unique, bespoke career tailored perfectly to you as an individual. Because at the end of the day, the harsh reality is there's no such thing as a one-size-fits-all career advice that works for everyone. We each have our own experiences, personalities, values, strengths, and interests that shape what we'd find most fulfilling and energizing on a daily basis. So rather than picking some arbitrary path just because it seems impressive or prestigious, put in the work to truly understand yourself first. Get clear on the types of tasks and working styles where you thrive. Vividly envision your idealized future self and what that person would do for a living. Then grid search relentlessly, making U-turns as needed, until you've pieced together the career philosophy that fits you perfectly. It takes courage and patience, for sure. The conventional path is just to pick a career track you've been told is good, and resign yourself to it even if it's not a natural fit. But you only get one life to live. Why not put in the effort to custom design a career that allows you to show up fully as your authentic self every single day? That's true fulfillment right there. So those are the key tips for crafting your own bespoke career. Let me know in the comments if this has inspired you to start viewing your career path through a fresh lens. And if you found value in this video, do me a favor and give it a like. I'll catch you all in the next video.